Hello! Something a bit special today. You know how there's that video game where you shoot things and you hide behind things and you jump out from behind things and you shoot more things and it's called Gears of War 2 or Gears of War 3? Well, these are rip-off action figures based very specifically on that franchise, despite their bizarre name. Right, let me introduce you to Bionicle of War 2! Yes, what the flipping heck is going on here? Right, let's try and work it out, shall we? This character is clearly Marcus Phoenix from Gears of War. You can tell by the way it says Marcus Phoenix on the packet. That's a fairly explicit statement saying that they're ripping off Gears of War. And yet the title is Bionicle of War 2. So they're trying to, in some way, get everything mixed in with the old Lego Bionicle thing, which was very popular a few years ago and now no longer exists. I'm very confused. Also, the logo, rather than being the cog with a skull in it from Gears of War, has a sort of sideways drooling death's head thing going on. Also, they're £1.49, and intriguingly, the price sticker is actually behind the plastic, which is odd. And they're for 3 years and up, because 3-year-olds absolutely love Gears of War, particularly the chainsaw bits. Right, something else that should be pointed out is there are official figures for Gears of War. I think they're about 7 inches tall, whereas these are much smaller. These are about 3.5 inches to fit in with the old Star Wars figure size. Look, I'm proving it visually. So it's all a bit odd, really. I don't think there actually are official figures this size, so these are either completely newly sculpted or retooled or something or other odds going on. Also, all the pictures on the packaging are clearly from the official figures, because that face does not look like this face. But we'll come back to that face in a moment, because I can't avoid it. Collect them all! Do it yourself. Well, obviously, nobody else is going to collect them all for me, are they? Well, actually, somebody did. Somebody very kindly got a set and sent them to me, but it never arrived. Bloody P.O. box. I had to go and buy my own. God damn, paying a fortune for something that doesn't. Let's stop moaning and look at this again. Right, on the back of the packet, we can see the other exciting figures in this range. There's good old Marcus. There's Damon Baird, whoever he is, with a sort of weird version of him with a mask on in the background. Is that a generic cog soldier, I think? C. Santiago. Don't know what the C stands for. I presume that's actually the end of a word cut off. We'll check that in a moment. And on the bad guy's side, we've got Locust Drone, Boomer, who's basically a fat Locust Drone, and Something Rider, who is hidden behind all the many disclaimer stickers. What country were these made in originally? There's a lot of Spanish on them, but also a lot of English and some sort of Arabic, so couldn't tell you. Precauciones, peligro de ahogarse. I can't remember what that means. Some danger of something. Choking hazard, I would guess. Contiene partes pequeñas. Contains small parts. No recomendado para niños menores de 3 años. Yes, don't give them to children under 3. The sad onion there was explaining that to us far more clearly. Please recycle these immediately and don't show them to any children because they're horrible. Can't get away now without showing you how horrible they are. And I've been putting it off. Are you ready to face the unending horror of the face of Marcus Phoenix? Dun, 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 dun. Oh my goodness, I really hope you haven't put this on 720p in full screen, because I imagine you have now filled your pants with smelly messes. What on earth is going on with that? He looks like an old lady. He looks like Les Dawson, pretending to be an old lady and then heavily made up. He's Les Dawson who's joined a new Romantics band. What on earth is going on? The rest of the armour's sort of all right on the paint. Well, sort of all right, 'cause it's just silver dry brushed. But that face, I mean, they've applied that presumably with a brush bigger than the sun. Anyway, let's open it up and have a better look. Well, first thing I can tell you is they're surprisingly high quality, actually. Fairly thin plastic and, the joints aren't marvellous, but considering the usual stuff I see from Poundland, they're all right. You've got simple cut joints, similar to the old Star Wars figures. And look, he can fly Wonder Woman's invisible plane. Yes, Wonder Woman did have an invisible plane. No, I don't know who thought that was a good idea. Can we get him in closer? Dun, 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 dun. I don't know how close it gets before it stops focusing. Or indeed starts focusing. That, I think, will do. Look at it. Oh my god, actually, looking at his face, there's tears running down his face. Look, he's crying his eyes out. What's wrong, Marcus? God damn it. I'm so sick of all this fighting. Nobody wants to listen to my poetry. Good grief. I've never seen somebody so upset. Maybe he's crying because he's just found out how much he'll have to pay if he wants to paint his gun a different colour. Ooh, DLC joke. Yeah, there's a screw in the back. That's about all you can say about them, really. It's very simply painted and quite effective, apart from the head area. Accessories. There's 3 things in here. There's this, which is like a big belt, which I presume goes around him like that, and I don't know, keeps all his hilarious utilities on. His hilarious utilities being lots of bags and a gas mask. It doesn't stay on. It makes us angry. There's this sort of weird, couldn't even hazard a guess as to what sort of gun that is. Don't know which way round that would go in his hand, actually. Like that, maybe? Sort of fits in the hand and stays there. That's a rarity for these cheap figures. And some kind of snipery rifle thing, which is no way going to fit in his hand because there isn't even a part for it to do so. Anyway, Marcus, you've really got to lay off the makeup because you now look like the most terrifying thing ever born from the mind of man. Let's get some of your friends in, shall we? Next up, it's, that was his name, Dominic Santiago. Where in the world is Dominic Santiago? Actually, it doesn't say Dominic, it says Domninic. Domninic Santiago, yes. Skin's a lot darker than implied in the picture on the back. And they've just done a really basic paint wash by the looks of it. Let's get him out and have a peek. Go on, Dominic. He's got more paint applications, a bit sort of green going on. Oh dear, the skin is, look at that. They just painted the skin colour all over the wristbands and, oh dear, it's all leaked down his face and onto his armour. You've got leaky skin. See a doctor immediately. Mind you, the lack of them attempting to give him some kind of facial paint has really worked wonders in his favour, because he looks human. He also looks faintly disturbed. Perhaps he's just caught sight of Marcus's face, I don't know. Come on then, Domninic, what else have you got? Ooh, he's got body armour. He's sensible. He's taking precautions. He's probably had his flu jab as well. Oh, this doesn't fit. It looks too... what? Yeah, look, it's clearly for a much bigger figure. Is that accessory for the full-size ones or something, the real ones? No idea. What is interesting, though, is it has the official cog symbol on it from the proper Gears of War like, and not the weird one they had going. Go on, what is your... oh, I recognise this. This is the gun with a chainsaw on it, isn't it? Oh, but it doesn't fit in his hands. Oh, it's the trademark gun. And he's holding it like... he doesn't know what it is, and he does look confused. Perhaps he's just had a blow on the head. Who can say? Oh well, time for a cog soldier. Yes, except it's not a cog soldier as shown in the picture. This is in fact, what was his name again? Damon Baird. Except, I think actually what we're seeing here is a latex mask, a cheap one, put on very badly. He looks like a bank robber from an early 90s film. Oh dear, do I have to get this out of the packet? I'm scared it's going to bite me. Come on. Come on, cog soldier. Sorry, Damon. Come out and do your blue stuff. Yeah, he's far more colourful than the others, but that face is really not anything to write home about. Unless you like writing home about unspeakable horror. Oh dear. It reminds me of somebody vaguely. I can't think who. Well, it could be anybody under that latex mask. Let's think about it. Right, he's got some sort of horrible thing, which presumably is supposed to stick around him. I don't know, it doesn't fit. Oh, I don't know where his gun's gone. Oh, he's got 2 weapons, because he's the man with 2 weapons. Yes, it's a thing. Looks like a shotgun. He can't hold it. That's always handy. And how about this comically oversized combat knife? Yes, he can hold that. Unfortunately, the other hand then looks like he's grasping for a cup of tea constantly. I'm thirsty. Not that you can drink through your disgusting latex mask, which is hanging off your face. Ugh. Paint application's not any better. I wasn't really expecting it to be. Anyway, that's the good guys. And they're the good-looking ones, unbelievably. We now have to suffer through the bad guys. Locust drone. Drone. Come on, out you come. And hoopla. Yep, again, very silvery. He's got sort of... I can't remember what the enemies from Gears of War looked like. I didn't like the game much myself. Sort of skeletal alien type brawny, nasty thing. Urgh. Lots of red on him. A horrible gun stuck in his holster, which is never going to come out. Big pair of expensive boots, very popular on the punk scene in the 80s. And a lump on his back. Basically, although he is quite an ugly creature, still looks better than most of the good guys there. I don't really know what this hat's about. It says power on it, and again is far too big. Why give them ludicrously outsized accessories when all the guns seem to be the right size? Go on, have your gun. He doesn't want his gun. Alright then, have your comically outsized combat knife. Go on, at least do something. You cost £1.50. Here we are. He looks very confused by it, as if he's just seen it for the first time. Maybe he's confused as to why it's so blunt. Who knows? Now, here comes Boomer, who doesn't really look anything like the Boomer on the back of the packet. That's like a huge, massive, scary, bulky thing. This is just that bloke in slightly different armour. And he's got the ridiculous hat again. Or is it a slightly different design of ridiculous hat? I'm not actually sure. Come on, we need a ridiculous hat roundup. Where is it? Oh, I've lost it. What a tragedy. I'm sure I can live with the stigma. Yeah, that's not really working, is it? He's got silver teeth, this one, like Jaws from the old James Bond films. And weird blue eyes. Well, so did the other one, but they were painted slightly better. I must say, this sort of silver dry brush on the red actually looks better than most of the other figures. What's not so good? Yeah, that's probably not supposed to happen. Let's get that back on there. No, that's not going to clip back. Oh well, I think that may be a very serious war wound he has been hit with in the past. Here, have this absolutely ludicrous pistol with loads of stupid bits coming out of it. Nope, doesn't want that. What about this far more sensible looking gun that's still a bit too silver? You're never going to win a war if you won't hold a gun. Good grief. Well, there we are. There's two incredibly ugly things. Let's get them back, and they can look like grotesque brothers. Actually, I think these would be better as the Olympic mascots for 2012, if you've seen the ridiculous cyclopean nose drippings we've been saddled with. Away with you. Depressing. Because I want to look at the Grenadier Beast Rider. He throws grenades and rides beasts, presumably. What a lucky man he is. Let's grab him out. I don't think he's wearing a shirt, but is massively armoured on all the rest of his body. See, I'm no expert, but I think you're supposed to armour your torso first. Also, why has he got a kumquat stuck in the middle of his face? And no eyes or anything. What is that supposed to be? Oh yeah, if you look on here, look, it's like a glowing thing. But nope, to us it is merely a kumquat. He has got a fruit stuck in his face, presumably to feed the beast he's riding and appease it. Right, what's this? Oh, he's got a gas mask. It's far too big. And clearly made for those larger real figures, I would have said. He's also got a weird gun with... What is that? Some bizarre Heath Robinson contraption. It just looks like he went to Poundland, bought all the toy guns, stuck them together, and then a colander got attached. No idea. Go on. Hold this thing, which is presumably for grenades or something. Oh yes! Yay! One of them will actually hold a gun, so that the bad guys have a chance. I think this is probably my favourite one of the figures, actually, because it just looks less ridiculous. And kumquat aside, the sort of paint works quite well, doesn't it? Well done, you win the prize. Here is your prize. Oh, I enjoy giving out that prize. Right, that's your lot. That is Bionicle of War 2. Now we just have to wait for Bionicle of War 3, which are probably going to be Harry Potter figures or something. I've got no idea. But there we are, some of the nicest rip-off figures I've ever seen, in a very meaningful sense. Oh, I've just spotted... what on earth are these? Are these the grenades for the Grenadier? I've lost track already. You look like some sort of weird medical equipment, but probably aren't. I don't know. I couldn't even work out what the characters' faces were supposed to be. Oh, here's a little bonus for you, by the way. The other day, I got hold of one of the old G.I. Joe figures based on Street Fighter 2 characters, all of which were a bit rubbish, because they put them in weird armour and gave them stupid weapons. And old Chun-Li here has possibly the most stupid weapons of the lot. Well, we'll gloss over the fact that she appears to be wearing a huge nappy because they put a stupid action feature in her legs where, like, the leg kicks a bit. Spinning bird kick. Not particularly impressed by that. No, the weaponry that she's got on her is frankly ridiculous. Right, we start on the back with a couple of kunai, aren't they? The sort of throwing dagger things. Okay, I can live with that. Ninjury. Nothing to do with Street Fighter 2, but we'll let you off. Now she's got a grenade between her breasts. That's not safe, that's not good, and it's not something that's a special move in Street Fighter 2. Why? Who designed this? Is that some weird and incredibly dangerous fetish? I've got no idea. But they managed to top even that, because on her leg she's got an antique flintlock pistol. Because apparently now Chun-Li's a bloody pirate. Oh dear. And I'd just like to point out that is an official licensed Street Fighter 2 thing. And I think actually they were the first figures of Street Fighter ever made, to my knowledge. I'm surprised they ever made any more. Anyway, if you ever see any more crappy rip-off things, you know who to tell about them. Everyone except me.